Yo, what is up, you guys? So I am finally back. I am making a YouTube video. I know it's been a long time. I do miss you guys. I do miss making videos, but unfortunately, life exists out of Wiz. That's just kind of how it is. I've been really busy with work and just real life stuff going on. But I am happy to be back and bringing you guys a video in my laggy ass guild house. We're gonna be going over the patch notes for the new summer update that are live right now in test realm and will soon be coming to live. And I'm going to give you my opinions on them and just kind of quickly little scroll through all the new stuff that's going on. So most of you guys know, new raid. It is the summertime again. So there is a new Cabal's Revenge raid, which is the Polaris themed raid. We've known about it for a long time. More on this later specifically. But I'm going to jump right into the new spells and the new spell elements that have come out. So there's a few problems with this. The spells themselves look super cool. The new fire spell detonates 2 overtimes could be super good. Unfortunately, I think Ifrit is just going to end up being better with just how the new spell element paths go. There's not really too much use for this spell, but could be interesting to see how it plays out. Ice got a Luminous Weaver guard, which is super good. Again, unfortunately, there is a few cases. This probably helps against fire, a matchup that Ice struggles against. But in pretty much every other matchup, you're probably going to just want to go with the Golem spell that Ice has. But could be interesting to see how this plays into the Ice versus Fire matchup. Obviously, Catch of the Day, Ninja Pigs, Go Monk we already had. And Death finally got the Monk of Morning. But instead of being a headless reskin, they got kind of a mini A-bomb type spell, or like an Athena for Death. Again, not really sure. It's not a bad card, obviously. Looking at the spell, looking at what it does, it is a strong and viable spell. Does it really play into Death's strengths? Not really, but it will probably still be good just because of how good the actual spell itself is. Myth and Balance got other new spells in the Knight's Spell pack. Balance got this, which gives a 25% damage aura for 4 rounds. It's a hit and aura. If this was 4 pips, this would be super good. 5 pips, probably not going to be too amazing, especially because of how Balance kind of is better off playing more of the defensive side with Brace. It doesn't really do a crazy amount of damage, so I'm not really sure how much this is going to be used, but interesting nonetheless. And Myth got a remove 3 positive wards and a 395 myth damage, kind of like a Helephant type spell. Again, probably not going to be used. This is probably more for low level people to use, because max level obviously has the Wallaroo spell, which is just flat out better. It does way more damage for just 1 more pip, way more value, because the overtime probably not going to be used at all at max, but could be interesting to see how that plays into low level. Boss matches reboot. Obviously, when we see this, means more gear, which is good. If I had to guess based off of how the previous reboots went, you're going to see these giving out the Wastelander gear, which is awesome, especially for low-level players, because low-level does require the Wastelander amulet to be able to be competitive with square sockets and triangle sockets. But a lot of schools do run Wastelander hat at max. Will this change given the new raid gear? Not sure, but it is good to see pack gear being offered as a free-to-play variant in the actual game for those of you who, cannot justify buying packs. Standard challenge mode, previously only available challenge mode. People are allowed to select both standard and challenge before enter the sigil. Both modes are based on the highest level arc, so Wizard City through Dragonspire are 50, and Celestia through, this is level scaling, which is already in the game. But Arc 2 rematches are also here. They did a bunch of new rematches. All obviously are going to drop the Wastelander gear or the crafted variant of it. They did a harvested reagents audit, basically just changing how they acquire reagents and how they are used. We'll probably get new reagents for the new crafting items and stuff like that, but not really anything too crazy here. We're just seeing new reagents obviously being dropped as more content is added. Each world's housing vendor now has a recipe to craft their world's rematch. Cool. Rematches are given as a badge reward for completing Arc of the Worlds. Level 170 versions of the gear available in Arc 1 rematches have been added to Arc 2 rematches. So, Wastelander gear, essentially, is what we're looking at here. The emote wheel, we also knew this was coming. Super cool just to have another option that is different from, having to go through the text chat. This is a cool, obviously no one's going to complain about new features. This doesn't really affect anything. It doesn't take anything away. It just gives you a new system to use if you'd like to use this. Yeah, more on the emote wheel. It's going to be like pretty much Fortnite, if you guys know, if you're familiar with how the emote wheel in that game works. But yeah, you're just going to be able to set a bunch of emotes on a ready wheel so you can use them without having to go through the dialogue, which is pretty cool. Victory dances, you can set up to 5 at one time and it will randomly select 5. Again, feature that you don't have to use, but you can if you'd like. Obviously, no one's going to complain about this. Super cool that they added the same with teleport effects. Gotta love that. Inventory we can access quickly with Shift C. It has an item limit of 100 emotes and 100 teleport effects. Cool. Recent wizards, not really a feature anyone's going to be using unless you're a normal questline player, which I'm not. But again, more features. No one's really can complain about this. It doesn't really affect anything. Guild achievements. So this is a big thing. As most of you guys know, in the last update, we saw the badge leaderboard. So players who had the most badges got to be on a leaderboard. Obviously, it was trying to incentivize people to badge grind. And of course, most of the top people on the badge leaderboard are in my guild, which is awesome. Super proud of those people. But same kind of thing going on here. If you guys see in test ROM, it is in test ROM right now. You can go up to this person and you can see the guilds that did the gold Avalon Museum first. Again, kittens on top, of course, and then Polaris Raid again, kittens on top. Shocker, you know what I'm saying? But it's a good day to be a kitten, obviously. But yeah, super cool feature. Obviously, I might be a little biased, but no complaining about that. Just bringing more light to guilds who outshine the others. Social kiosk improvements, obviously a good thing. Helping out players who do not just have 4 accounts that they can log onto or a bunch of friends that can load up at any time to be able to play. Not really any complaints there. I'm going to skip past Beast Moon because now that we have the event spell element pack and you can basically just buy all the Beast Moon spells, I don't really care about Beast Moon. If you guys care about Beast Moon, the links to the update notes are in the description of the video, but no one really cares about that. Here is one of the biggest changes that no one's really talking about in this update is the school pip generation, arc mastery, essentially. This is a huge thing for PvE, especially team up, because up to now, if you played with other people on your team who maybe had arc mastery jewels or an arc mastery talent on their pet, you were not getting school pips because of that. Your rating went against your teammates, which was a problem. Now they're changing it to where it's kind of like shadow rating. Instead of it based on your team, it's going to be based on the enemy. So if you go in with, the normal 65 school pip or arc mastery that goes on a max level deck, you're probably going to get a school pip every round. It also allows them to create more diversity in terms of enemies. You might fight more enemies, like how in the Azteca raid you didn't really ever generate school pips. That might be something you see more often as we get into new dungeons and new worlds next year. But this is a great overall change that has been long awaited since they added this system. It never really made sense to go against your teammates, so I do like this. Combat and spell changes, nothing really crazy, and that was a big issue as far as I know. Maybe there are some things that were broken, but adding more treasure cards to PvP crafters, this is awesome. Obviously, I'll run over there really quick and show you guys show you guys the PvP ones, because I know that's a big thing that people are really excited about, to kind of simmer down the market a little bit. Yeah, so you see we have the Arc 2 spell elements now. There was some other big ones, but I'm pretty sure Arc 2 spell elements were the super good ones. King Arts, these could be really good to pack on other schools inside deck, so super excited about that. Just to kind of have and not really have to worry about it. Now, of course, you guys can load into test from now and you guys can see all of these as well. But I'm super happy about all of these spells being added. It will just kind of make it a lot easier to have these spells inside deck. And Azoth is obviously a very easy thing to acquire, just through normal farming. But super excited about this. This could, I actually did not know this did this. That could be really interesting, for Fire to pack, to be honest with you, but or really any school. But yeah, I don't really see any spellman changes, but super cool changes here. A lot of other just small UI fixes. Portal Apparel, which is unfortunately kind of useless. No one really uses Portal Apparel. It kind of flopped, but maybe that's just me. Yeah, it looks like we are getting more World Skip elixirs for Safaria, Avalon, and Azteca. So you should be able to buy straight up to the Chrysalis, which is awesome if you'd want to use World Skip elixirs like that. I don't believe they're in Test Realm. They normally aren't. Yeah, so we're not seeing this in Test Realm yet. But I'm super happy about this because I hate questing. I know most of you guys probably hate questing. So for a small price, you can skip all the worlds. Another big thing is raid bundles and keys for all 3 raids added to the raid section of the Crown Shop. Obviously, another great thing, you're going to be able to buy keys. I'm not sure if these are the prices. They're a little steep, in my opinion. I don't see anyone paying, $20 for a 3-hour raid key. Maybe that's just me. Maybe y'all will. I'm not sure. And also the fact that they're different, they're the same price is kind of crazy. I think the older one should be cheaper because the gear and drops are outdated. They're clearly not valued correctly. Hopefully these are not the actual numbers that they're going to go live with. But the hour-and-a-half keys is huge. Super happy that they're adding that, for people who just have to go and maybe do one run and just have to craft one thing. You don't have to craft a full key. Super awesome addition there. No bug spells using select target effect may display incorrectly. Yeah, this is just in Test Realm, not really a big deal. Archery matches are a work in progress and will be updated in future Test Realm patches. One big thing I did not see mentioned is PvP tournaments. Now, I know if you guys watched my previous video about this, they did add more modes in PvP. Now, this has obviously been a huge center of discussion for the past few months, ever since the devs started teasing some more leagues and tournaments and stuff like that. But I do believe some of these are already in Test Realm. Over here, PvP 5th Age Duelist League, as far as I know, it is unranked. Stat scaling, damage and healing is scale 50%, so everything does half as much as it would in a normal ranked mode. I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to incentivize here, in terms of damage and healing scaled half. It is interesting, nonetheless. It is very interesting. I think all they're doing here is testing out how they can incorporate leagues temporarily with certain stat restrictions or stuff like that, just to make it kind of interesting. But it is an unranked league where you get just purely things for wins. I'm not sure where the point category goes into all of this, but nonetheless, it is pretty cool just to have new features. I don't believe they started messing around with tournaments much beyond just the tokens. 70-minute tournaments once a day, it looks like. I'm not sure. This kind of goes against what they were saying in terms of how they were going to roll these out. If they keep it like this, I guess we'll have to see. But I am super excited just to see the return of tournaments at all. Because a lot of people have been waiting for those in order to come back. And I have seen a lot of people who have not been playing the game in a long time starting to come back to Live Realm, make pets, start getting gear, and testing out stuff, which is obviously a great thing for the game, seeing people come back and try out new stuff. That is all I have for this week of Test Realm. If I see more things being released next week or through over the weekend, I will probably make an updated video talking about that. But that is all I have. If you guys have any other specific comments or things that I missed about Test Realm, or you guys have some concerns, feel free to drop them in the comments or DM me on Discord. My Discord is in the description of this video. And that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.